Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be giving my MLB DraftKings picks for Monday, September 25th. It is the final week of the MLB season. The regular season does end on Sunday. I believe Sunday is the last full day of games. So baseball is starting to wind down. NBA starting to heat up as well. I believe the preseason does start pretty soon for NBA. And I believe the regular season for NBA starts sometime in October. So we are starting to shift gears towards NBA. MLB sort of winding down, final week of the season. I will still be making videos for this final week. Should have a video up every day, Monday through Friday. Maybe even Saturday if I can. I'll get an MLB video up on Saturday as well. And I still will be doing my NFL videos every week. Those will be up every Tuesday afternoon. So if this is your first time on my channel, make sure you are subscribed with notifications on, so that way you'll never miss out on any of my new videos. Be sure to drop a like on the video as well. I would really appreciate that, guys. It does mean a lot to me. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started looking at today's Monday 9-game slate. Alright, so looking at this slate, guys, I think this slate pretty straightforward in my opinion. If you've looked at this slate, you'll probably see what I'm talking about. But we have one team today. All their hitters are way underpriced. I'm not sure if DraftKings algorithm thought they were going up against Corey Kluber or something, but the Mariners bats going up against Daniel Gossett. All these guys are insanely cheap, and they're in really good spots against a bad pitcher. I'll pull up their lineup real quick so I can show you the prices. Like I said, if you have looked at this slate, you'll probably see what I'm talking about. But look at these Mariners hitters. Gene Segura is 3K, Mitch Haniger 3.4K, Robinson Cano is 3K, Nelson Cruz is 2.9K, Kyle Seager is 3.2K, Alonso's 3.1, and they're all going up against Daniel Gossett, who is not a very good pitcher. Definitely a pitcher you can pick on. So fitting in some of those guys into your lineup, I think is definitely going to be the way to go today. And obviously those guys are insanely cheap, so you can pay up for pitcher. I think there's a guy you definitely want to pay up for at the top, Yu Darvish going up against the Padres. So for cash games, I think this slate's pretty straightforward. I think you're paying up for Darvish, and then you're fitting in some of those Mariners bats. I think those Mariners guys are going to be insanely popular because of their prices. So in GPPs, if you want to fade them, definitely can. But for cash games, just given their price, I think they make so much sense today because they do allow you to pay up for that expensive pitching, which I think you're going to want today. And with that being said, obviously I do love Yu Darvish today as my SP1 at 12,300 going up against the Padres. One thing that does scare me here with Darvish, now that the Dodgers are pretty much locked in for the postseason, I am worried about Darvish's pitch count here. Dave Roberts already pulls his pitchers like insanely early, and now with them locked up for the postseason, we could see Darvish only pitch about 80 or 90 pitches, which does scare me a little bit. But I think he can still return value in 80 or 90 pitches against this Padres team that we know strikes out a ton versus righties on the year. If you just look at their strikeout rate in the last 30 days, it's sixth most in the league, 24.8% K rate versus righties. They're only hitting a 219 average and a 267 WOBA versus righties in the last 30 days. So obviously a really good spot for Yu Darvish. And with the Dodgers going up against Travis Wood pitching for the Padres today, I think Darvish is pretty much locked in, pretty much guaranteed for a win here, which helps him out a ton. So I do like Yu Darvish today as my SP1. I think he has the strikeout upside here. I definitely think he can get me 25 to 30 DK points. I definitely think 30 DK points is possible for Darvish here. This Padres team, they do strike out a lot, so Darvish definitely has some upside. I think he's very safe for cash games, and I think it is pretty easy to fit him in today with all those Mariners bats being so cheap. So Yu Darvish, the SP1, I'm going to be rolling out at 12,300. And then for SP2, going to look in the mid tier. There's a guy I really like that I think is just too cheap for his talent level. And that's Aaron Nola at 8K going up against the Nationals. I do really like this spot for Aaron Nola. I think he's just too cheap today at 8K. And one thing to note, the Nationals, they have locked up their ticket to the postseason. We saw them a couple of days ago. They did rest some guys, rolled out a really bad lineup. Hopefully today maybe they'll rest some guys against Nola. If that is the case, I think Nola becomes a really good play. I think he's already a good play to begin with, but if the Nationals do rest some guys, I think Nola a really good option at SP2 for 8K. This guy's just a really solid pitcher. I definitely think he's a better pitcher than being 8,000. If you just look in his last few games, had some really tough matchups against a Dodgers team that has been struggling lately, but they still do have good hitters. Nola got 8 Ks in that game, finished with 27 DraftKings points. And in his game before that against the Marlins, I was on him that day. Got 11 strikeouts that game. Finished with 36.2 DraftKings points. So this guy definitely has a ton of upside. With A.J. Cole on the mound for the Nationals, I definitely think the Phillies can give Nola some run support and give him a chance at a win. He's not really a heavy favorite today, only minus 130, but the Nationals total is only at 4 runs, which is something to definitely take note of. We rarely see the Nationals with a total that low, Nola's definitely getting some respect from Vegas here, which is always nice to see. So I think he's a good option today at SP2. Pairing him with Darvish does leave us only 37.12 remaining per player. But like I showed you guys, those Mariners bats just way too cheap. You can still pay. You can probably fit in the two most expensive pitchers on the slate and stack the Mariners. I definitely think that is a viable option. You could probably play Darvish and Godley and still fit in some decent bats with how cheap those Mariners bats are. But for my core play, it's going to be rolling with Darvish and Nola as my two pitchers today. And then for my three bats, going to be going to second base for my first guy. Guy from the Mariners, just thinks way too cheap, obviously. Is Robinson Cano, just 3K, going up against Daniel Gossett. Cano's just too cheap. Not sure what the DraftKings algorithm was thinking here, but pricing Cano at 3K against Gossett, definitely a misprice in my opinion. Gossett been pretty bad against lefties this year, and righties as well. To lefties, a 360 WOBA. Hasn't given up a ton of home runs to lefties, only a 1.04 home run per 9 on the year to lefties, which is definitely concerning, but he will give up some home runs to righties. There are some righties that could take him deep in that Mariners lineup, but I think the lefties are still in play here, especially guys like Cano that hit right-handed pitching very well. So I think Robinson Cano a really good option today at 3K. I think he's just too cheap. He's been hitting the ball well, has some really solid games. 3 of his last 4 games he's had double digits. In his last 4, 14, 14, 10, and 5 DraftKings points. So he's been very consistent as of late. I think he's just too cheap today given the matchup. So love Robinson Cano at 3K at second base. And then my final 2 plays, both going to be in the outfield. Obviously 2 really cheap guys I like. The first guy is going to be from the Dodgers going up against Travis Wood. I really like Chris Taylor today at just 3,700. Like I said, going up against Travis Wood. Travis Wood, a pitcher I'm definitely going to be looking to pick on today. Do like some of these Dodgers bats, specifically the righties like Chris Taylor. Justin Turner's in the lineup, really like him. But Taylor is the guy that I'm going to be rolling with today in the outfield. This guy's just hit left-handed pitching very well this year, and he's going up against a really bad lefty in Travis Wood. Wood has allowed a 387 WOBA on the year to righties, and he's also given up a lot of home runs to righties, a 1.91 home run per 9 on the year to right-handed hitters, and also a ton of hard contact as well. 50% medium contact and 30% hard contact. So I do like this spot for some of these Dodgers bats, specifically the righties like Taylor. Travis Wood has really struggled to righties this year, and the Dodgers definitely have some right-handed hitters that could take him deep, could do some damage against him. Chris Taylor being one of them. He's hit lefties very well this year, so I think he's a very good option at outfield. You can also play him at second base, but I really like Cano at second base, so I'm going to be plugging in Chris Taylor at the outfield for 3,700. And then my final play, going back to the Mariners, probably one of my favorite plays today, just too cheap, is Nelson Cruz at 2,900 going up against Daniel Gossett. Nelly Cruz is just too cheap today. We do like to take Cruz against lefties, don't like him as much against righties, but Daniel Gossett has allowed a ton of home runs to righties this year. He's actually kind of struggled more against righties than he has lefties. 2.13 home run per 9 on the year to righties, and also a lot of hard contact to righties. 49.1% medium contact and 34.6% hard contact on the year to right-handed hitters. So it is a great spot for Nelly Cruz. The dude's been hitting the ball very well as of late. All in his last 4 games, has all 4 games with over double digits, 18, 16, 21, and 19 DraftKings points in his last 4 games. He's homered in 4 straight games as well. That's also something to take note of. So he is on a home run streak. I think we could definitely see him keep that streak going here against Daniel Gossett, a pitcher that will give up a lot of home runs to righties. And Nelly Cruz, obviously a guy with a ton of power, 37 homers on the year. I think it's just a really good spot for him. He's way too cheap. Just continuing to see his price decrease, and I'm not really sure why he's actually on a hot streak right now and he's seeing his price decrease, which doesn't make a ton of sense. It was 4,200 on the 22nd against Cleveland. Then the next day after that, price dropped to 3,600, and today against a really bad pitcher, he's 2,900. So not sure what DK algorithm is thinking, but Nelly Cruz just way too cheap today. The dude's on a hot streak and he's only 2,900. He's homered in 4 straight games and he's that cheap, which doesn't make a lot of sense. So I think he's a really good play in the outfield. If you're looking for a cheap guy, I think he makes a lot of sense today. But yeah, guys, these are going to be my 5 core plays for tonight. I went with Yu Darvish, Aaron Nola, Robbie Cano, Chris Taylor, and Nelson Cruz. We have 2 really good pitchers in our core, and we also have 3 really good bats as well, and we're still left with 40-20 remaining per player. which just shows you how mispriced some of these guys are. You can still build a really good lineup around this 5. And you have 2 really good pitchers and 3 good bats as well. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you drop a like on the video and be sure to subscribe as well. Like I said at the beginning, if this is your first time on my channel, please be sure to subscribe. I do upload these MLB videos every day. When the NBA season starts, I'll be making NBA videos daily. Along with NFL for the upcoming slate, I'll be uploading my NFL video every week on Tuesday afternoon. So make sure you are subscribed with notifications on so that way you'll never miss out on any new videos. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck tonight, guys. Peace.
Oh, sauce it down, sauce it up. You too much,